think after the 20th year, I'd kind of have it down pat. Go ahead, check the ice, girls. That's it.
Not very thick.
$2,000 more and we'll have it open. No. Now we'll go get that agitator. And I think we only have maybe 8 inches. Not much there.
Well, the polar bear plunge is pretty well self-explanatory. Basically, there's ice on the lakes, we cut through and jump in, and it's cold as hell. You know, we've been doing it actually for, this will be our 20th year. Larry Gordon started it 20 years ago. Somehow I got involved over the course of the years, and we've been doing it across the street over at Becker Marine. We get an average of about 100 or plus people that actually jump. They dress up crazy, this, that, and the other thing, and we have a real good time with it.
It's just a 110 volt trolling motor, roughly. Heavy trolling motor.
And actually, the first year I ever did it, I put on my union suit, and I've got sleeves and everything else, and the drop bottom and the red suit, and I had my boots on and a FUD cap and everything, and led the crowd in. Wrong thing to do, because then they're all behind you, and you're trying to get back out, and you just get your breath, things start disappearing, and then you can't get, you know, when you get out, then you're just a wet noodle. And so I learned my lesson the first year I did it, was not to do it that way.
And that was 1992. I think we had 17 people, and it was the coldest polar bearing day I think we had. It was like -7. Any kind of beverage you had was slush as soon as you opened it. We had hot dogs and bratwurst, and it was hard to keep them warm. We had a good time. I think we did.
You know, the best way to go in really is the least you wear, the better it is. Because when you get out, whether you got a bathing suit on or whatever you're wearing, obviously you can wrap yourself in a warm towel or warm blanket. If you've got a lot of clothes on, you know, like I did that first year, like I said, I learned my lesson. Then you get out, you're still cold, you know, because that thing is just clinging to you. And if you stand outside too long, as I did that time, it started freezing, you know, so it took me a while to get that thing off. But you actually, when you get out of the water, you get kind of a warmth euphoria. You know, you don't really notice that it's that cold out, and you'll stand out there too long.
It's invigorating. You jump in the water, and you have the initial shock, I guess. You know, your chest muscles contract, so you get a smaller breath. And then after that, you kind of loosen up. And if you get out of the water, once you get wet, you feel as if your skin is burning. Well, I think what it is the blood rushing to the surface of your skin to warm it up. So you have this real warm, intense feeling for about 10 minutes. And after that, your body slowly cools off. Then a nice warm blood kind of heads towards your body core, and you get cold pretty fast. Well, I learned you don't sit on tailgates of pickup trucks with a wet swimsuit. It could be embarrassing. There's little tricks that only the experienced polar bear knows about.
Okay. The other thing that you want to make sure that you do when you do a polar bear plunge, obviously underneath the water, you don't know what's down there. So you're going to want to wear a light pair of tennis shoes or some swimmies or stuff like that, or booties or whatever, to make sure that you don't cut your feet or anything of that sort. And if you're taking young people, you want to make sure that you keep a real close eye on them.
My son went in and he was, I think, 7. So we kind of set that as the age. You know, you can't polar bear until you're 7. Well, I think my sweet talking daughter made me let her go at 5. But I can't say that they've gone in too many times.
Do people get dressed up?
Oh yeah, people wear all kinds of crazy stuff. And then we've got people that bring an inner tube and they'll sit out there in an inner tube and they'll wear crazy hats and they'll dress up in all kinds of crazy stuff. That's part of the fun of it, you know. A lot of people wear different things. There's a lot of people that have fun with it that way too. All I was saying is, if you do it, best thing is the least you wear, the better it is. We've had nobody go in naked yet or skinny dip yet, which is probably a good thing. But you know, like I say, then you can get out and you can wrap yourself, with something warm quickly. Or if you do wear a costume or something like that, make sure it's something that you can get off easily, so that you can get wrapped up. Because obviously that's one of our concerns.
I think it's great practice for the winter sportsman, because if you're out on the ice fishing and you've never fallen in, if you could do it this way and then see how your body reacts to it, and then figure you're going to be wearing coveralls or snowmobile suit, boots, and then see how well you can keep your head above the surface.
Like I say, we've been doing this for 20 years. We do get a huge crowd here, so expect a big crowd. It's a lot of fun, obviously, and coupled with the fact that we have the Packer game that day, it should be a really good time for everyone. So you want to make sure that you get out here a little early so you can get yourself a spot so you can see the people that are going to plunge, and get out of their way when they come out, because they're on a mission to get back up here where it's warm.
These people get out here, we rope this off so nobody inadvertently goes into the open water while we're opening it up or while it's refreezing after the event. But they'll get out here because they can get pictures of the people coming in, and Bruce's pier is all full. That's all shoulder to shoulder. And when the wave comes in, when the first wave comes in, they create a wave. And as thin as this ice is, this isn't the thinnest we've ever had, but that wave continues underneath that ice, and the ice sheet waves, and it cracks. And you see these people get down and they think they're going in. Well, sometimes they could. There's so many people out there that, that's a distinct possibility. So we get a canoe ready with a couple life jackets in case we get a big spot of open water out here and people are in, and we can render aid.
We actually open early that day. We open at 10 a.m. for the pre-plunge party, we call it, and everybody comes in here and gets a little courage. And then the plunge is usually, like I say, at 1 o'clock, but with the Packer game, it's going to be halftime this year. And then afterwards, we come back here and we've got hot chocolate and hot cider and coffee and stuff like that they can help themselves to.
I have dreams New Year's Eve, thinking that in the morning I go down to the marina and 1 o'clock comes around and I'm the only one down here.
Has that ever happened? Have you ever had small groups or what?
I think since we've been here, maybe 75, and we've probably been as many as 150. And it's, for anybody that hasn't been here before, it's a real eye-opener, because you got that initial crowd, and usually it's the college-age male population that's right there at the edge of the water, and they want to go charging in. And then there's the younger kids, maybe first-timers somewhere right behind them. So, or maybe they're in the first line too, which isn't exactly the best place to be, because everybody goes charging in and it's kind of like a wave. And they go in, and then when you've had enough, gone deep enough or whatever, you kind of expect to turn around and just charge back out, but there's still people coming in, and you could go a little deeper and stay in a little longer than what you anticipate. So,
like I say, we get about 100 people. We've never had incident, and this year we decided we're going to do something so that we can raise some money for the community, and this year it's the Waupaca Area Fire Department. We've said the last couple of years it'd be nice if there was an organization or something that we could raise some money for that needs it. And obviously, the fire department, we have such a fine department here. We wanted to try to raise some money for them. The fire chief, Jeff Olson, thought it was a good idea. They had their Christmas party a few weeks ago, and I explained it all to the firefighters. They weren't too happy, but you know, it's all in fun, you know, and it's going to be a good time.
We do a major fundraiser once a year. It's our Fireman's Dance that's held in July up at Swan Park. We do have some local businesses that have helped us with fundraisers. For example, Julie's Crystal Lounge does the firemen's auction around February, around Valentine's Day. And now we're involved with the Polar Plunge out at the Wheelhouse Restaurant. And again, it completely all, like the auction at Julie's was completely her idea. And now the Polar Plunge, even though that's been going on for a long time, Jeff Mayman, the owner of the Wheelhouse, has come forth to do a fundraiser for the fire department. Again, we didn't go out asking for it. It's all their ideas.
It's always nice to have people from the public do stuff like this for us so we can raise the money and get stuff like that, the needed equipment.
The city and everybody, they give us so much money to spend, and there's always extra equipment. There's always equipment that we need to be buying. We like being number one, and we do a lot of stuff with the equipment that we buy.
I like it, you know, anytime, especially when someone in the community gets involved with it. I think we have a lot better turnout with the fundraisers, because it's not the department itself necessarily asking for money. It's somebody out there that's trying to help us stay on our feet and do our thing. And I think that's a pretty good thing to do. And it's pretty cool when people step forward and do that for you.
All fundraisers are great ideas. Jumping in the water in the middle of the winter doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me. It doesn't sound like the smart thing to do to me, but if I'm one of the top guys, or if I have to jump in the water, I'm going to jump in the water.
I was kind of excited. I knew we'd probably get some good money and good support from the community, like we always do. And it's just I think a lot of people would like to see a lot of us in the water, so I think it was a great idea from the start.
We do have a board back here which has all of the firefighters' names on it, and what we did to make it a little bit interesting, you can come into the Wheelhouse, you can put some money down on a firefighter. The two top money getters, or the two top fundraisers, or whatever you want to call them, those two firefighters are actually going to have to take the plunge.
One of our firefighters, his name is Andy Whitman. He is the top money getter so far, and I'm second.
I think Jeff's going to be number one. I think Jeff's going in. We'll see. I think he's going to chicken out, but you know.
I think it's going to be good. I really do. Being our first year, I don't really know what to expect, but I have been kind of watching the board out to the Wheelhouse, and the top vote getter so far has like over $250 donated just in his name. So, and a lot of the other guys have some small ones, which we certainly appreciate everybody's support. Sure. But I'm pretty sure Mr. Whitman's going to be the top one going in.
I'm a personal trainer here in town, so I have a lot of enemies, we'll say, in town. I love-hate relationships, so I kind of looked over at one of my clients' husbands and I thought, I'm in trouble. I know a lot of my clients are going to be out to get me, so I pretty much figured I'd be going in right away.
I've never done a plunge before, no.
It's never been anything you wanted to do.
To be quite honest with you, no, I never had a desire to jump in a lake on the 1st of January, but again, because it is a fundraiser for us, our guys pretty much step up to the plate. We'll do what we can do to help out.
I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to, I tell you that. And I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't do it voluntarily, jump in the water.
I jumped in about, I think it was like 10 years ago. I've done it twice now. But we've had nice weather. Like this year here, it's going to be really easy because it's going to be warm. I mean, 36 degrees or whatever is warm. Right. Some of these people that have to jump in at 10 below and stuff, I don't know if I'd do it then.
The weather doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care. I've done it, like I said, I've done it 5-6 times. The one was an accident. But, you know, and we've had sub-zero, or we've had 40-degree weather. And it really doesn't make any difference. The water temperature is probably every year within 2 to 3 degrees of what it was the previous year, depending on, you know, what the air temperature is, the ambient temperature. But, you know, when you get out, like I say, you have this little euphoric feeling of warmth. So it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really affect you any differently as far as the weather's going. If it's windy, obviously, yeah, when you get out, it's going to be a little colder than if it was still and a little warmer. But a plunge is a plunge, man.
I tell people it's a little easier, if the water's a little cool, it's a heck of a lot easier to go in when the air temperature and water temperature are about the same, rather than, you know, say 34-degree water and 76-degree air temperature.
They should not be afraid of jumping in the lake, but you know, fire's warm, lake is cold, you just never can tell.
This time of year when we jump in the water, we got the suits that are right behind me. That's what we wear. Keep us nice and warm.
Have you ever done it before?
Nope.
Are you the type that, like, do you jump in the summertime and then jump in when the water's cold, or do you, like...
I don't hardly swim in the summertime, so it'll be interesting if I'm one of the top runners.
They're all wimps, every single one of them. They're all just like biting their, I don't want to have to go in there, you know that. But you know, like I say, it's all for fun. But I think the two top money getters right now, or the people that have raised the most money right now, are pretty well reserved to the fact that they're going to have to probably go in, or you know, like I say, they have the option. You know, give me $50 and we'll put it in the pot for the fire department. And you won't have to go, and we'll take it to the next person. So don't think that the guys that are winning are actually going to go in. You other firefighters that think that you don't have enough money to go in.
Maybe I ought to make it $100 for the next buyout, then $150.
Right.
Or make them draw out of a drum, see what it says. We could have Vanna. Vanna could be there. Okay, pick an envelope. Well, that's good.
How do you like being a fireman?
It was a dream I had since I could remember. That was one of my lifetime goals at 18, was I was going to be a fireman by the time I was 30. And I think I got on when I was 30, so.
I love it. I grew up down here. My dad's a fireman, my grandpa's a fireman, so I've been kind of raised down here, and it's just in my blood, I guess.
Enjoy doing this?
I do enjoy it, yes, very much so.
Yeah, what's it?
It gives you a little bit of excitement.
When that call goes off, what do you get some adrenaline flowing sometimes?
Oh, yeah, heart start beating a little bit faster than normal.
You know, 20 years ago, one of the guys asked me, I was working in London at the time, asked me, I'd moved back to town if I wanted to be on the department. And it was like, yeah, you know, I wanted to get back into the community. I'd worked out of town for about 8 years, and it was like, that'd be a good thing to get into, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. Good group guys down here, and there's always some activities going on. One of the biggest things that we do, and we've got real strong in the last few years, is fire prevention programs. And we've got some pretty decent programs going now, not only just with National Fire Prevention Week, but we carry it out throughout the year. We go out to the daycares and the schools and do programs. Pretty much anybody asks, we'll do a program for them. We've had Boy Scouts down here, birthday parties. You know, you get a group of kids, doesn't matter who you are, if we get a group of kids down here and we can teach them, we'll do it.
And you guys definitely can use money for things?
Oh, yes, definitely. We're always looking for some replacement pieces that are broke on the scene, or just updating equipment that we've had that's just outdated.
You know, we've got some things slated on the board for this coming year, some equipment that we're going to be replacing, some items that we don't have that we'd like to purchase, and some of it's for our own safety, some of it's for public safety, but you know, we look at if we ourselves can't be safe, then we can't help you be safe.
People really know what we do, and we do it on a limited budget. So primarily, if they can throw a little money here and there to help us upgrade our equipment like we do for our firemen's dance, you know, the community support is fantastic. And we certainly appreciate all the ones that are donating money to this one.
Extension cord time.
related, actually.
Hi Pete, how's the weather?
Ah, it's good in the suit.
Water's good in the suit?
It's all goody.
Outstanding.
So you ready for today? We're about as ready as we're going to be. We're really looking forward to it, and we certainly appreciate everybody that showed up today and shows us support for the fire department. I mean, it's fantastic. We'll do what we got to do.
Yeah, I heard one of the other firemen are joining with you guys.
Yeah, after a little discussion last night, we had a little get-together, and one of our other firefighters decided to take the plunge with us.
Have you ever done this before?
Never. I'm usually not home. I'm usually in Tennessee or Indiana working.
When did you make the decision that you were going to do this?
This morning. It was kind of a last-minute thing. I think the fire department should all jump in the water.
Here we go. January 1, 2012, taking the plunge.
How was it?
It wasn't as bad as I thought. It was pretty good.
You think it's worth the money?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd do it again next year if I had to.
So, how was it?
It was cold. I'm glad we did it. I'm really glad we did it. But let's not do it again until next year. Thanks to all my crew that, it's fantastic. It was just fantastic.